Namaste and hi friends, it's Parvati here with Visionary Veda, bringing you your Vedic Astrology New Moon report for this November 23rd, 2022. In this report, I am going to go over the energies at play during this new moon happening in the sidereal sign of Scorpio, but I'm also going to talk about Jupiter turning direct today as well. And I'm going to give you a preview of what I think is going to be very important. In fact, what I know is going to be super important, and that is coming up here in January. Saturn is changing signs and moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. So, without further ado, let's get started. So this new moon is happening in the sidereal sign of Scorpio in the nakshatra of Anuradha Nakshatra. This is usually a very soft, or what's known as a mridu nakshatra, a benevolent nakshatra for the moon to usually be in. However, we must remember that the moon is new, so the moon will be dark. Plus, there's a few other influences, planetary influences, that are also occurring with this new moon. One of them, and the most important, is that Venus and Mercury are both combust, so very close to the sun, and very close to each other. So the energies that Venus and Mercury, which are benefics, can usually lend to this new moon are going to be a bit stifled. We will also have Mars in retrograde, giving its 7th aspect to this new moon. So Mars is in Venus's sign of Taurus, sidereal Mars, in sidereal Taurus. And Venus is in the sign of Mars. So there's a mutual exchange going on, but we can't ignore that 7th direct aspect that Mars is giving to this new moon. Now, having said that, what does it all mean and how should it feel? Well, the eclipses now are past. And the eclipse, that last lunar eclipse that we had, was sort of a completion window. You might still be feeling the repercussions of that eclipse around your friendships, people that you do business with, people that you've so far been on good standing terms with. This new moon in Scorpio can bring that back out. Now remember, the moon signifies our minds. So the mind is dark, and you might be feeling like you're missing connection because the nakshatra of Anuradha, the deity of it is the deity Mitra. And it literally signifies friendships or being friendly. Because Mars is aspecting this new moon, you could have recently felt some conflicts with those people that you were really tight with, or felt like you were really tight with before. It can break things, but you're going to feel this more in the mental, emotional realm because the moon is devoid of light. So you may be automatically seeing these friends as enemies or someone who's hurt you. Just keep in mind with that Mars aspect and the moon being dark, again, you're probably taking it a little bit too personally than you need to. Once the moon starts to wax again, and by the time the full moon comes around in December, I think it's December 7th or 8th, depending on where you are, then you're going to be able to self-reflect that light and see where it is that your role was in that conflict. All right. So for the time being, just try not to take things to heart. Know that you want to be friendly, you want to connect. This is all the significations of Anuradha Nakshatra. you wanting to be friendly, maybe you wanting to reach out, but just know that that Mars aspect sitting across from Venus right now can lend a kind of aggressive, if not frustrating energy to you on an emotional level. Don't internalize these feelings. See, the good thing about the moon is that it changes nakshatras every day. It moves quickly. So try not to absorb anything that you feel is being projected onto you from the outside. Just know that other people, their minds are also not in the most illuminated space right now. And probably by the time, like I said, the full moon comes around, you'll be able to talk or patch things up. What this new moon does do is seed the energy of the nakshatra because it's a beginning phase. And a lot of us are going to be feeling these new beginnings coming around. Sorry, my glasses keep falling off. A feeling of a new beginning just on the horizon. And what's beautiful about this full moon and what helps it a lot as well is that Jupiter sitting in the sidereal sign of Pisces is going direct today as well. So Jupiter is giving its ninth aspect to the sign of Scorpio. And Jupiter's aspect, especially his ninth aspect, is always benefic. It lends towards learning or taking the higher road or being able to use your teachings in self-soothing or generating some inspiration to how we can show up better in our relationships. So this is very, very exciting news. This movement forward is going to really help inspire us to take action on things that perhaps have felt like they've been stagnating for a while. Just another point on Mars giving its seventh aspect on the sign of Scorpio. Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio, so I don't feel like it's going to hurt this house at all or the significations of this new moon, but Mars is Mars. So there's intensity there. You can use this intensity for deep inner transformation. Because remember, Scorpio is the sign of the subconscious psyche. And when the moon is dark there, whatever hurts that you might feel reflected from the outside is an indicator or a cue to go inside yourself and transform where you can. Not everything is always our fault, but usually when there's quarrels or conflicts, it's a two-sided thing. The other person brings their stuff and you also are reacting with yours. So take a breath, have a look inside, and see where can I transform, because Scorpio allows us to use those transformational energies. So Mars is the ruler of Scorpio, but there's also a co-ruler of Scorpio, which is the planet Ketu. And Ketu is still sitting in the sign of Libra. Again, allegiances, friendships, diplomacies, and feeling good with one another. So that also is going to affect this full moon, this new moon. But all in all, it's a good new moon because Anuradha is a gentle nakshatra and it wants to relate. It wants to be friends. It wants to connect. So tomorrow here in the United States is Thanksgiving, and a lot of people are going to be with their friends and their relatives. Just try to use that energy of the moon of friendship when you are interacting with your loved ones, because I know for a lot of people it can be a trying time. But the good news with that is that it does give us the opportunity to be able to transform any kind of feelings of hurt. It can bring the peace. Try not to have too many expectations on others. do the work, rather do the work internally with yourself. So that is for the new moon, as well as this Jupiter going direct. A little bit more on Jupiter going direct. So any kind of insights that you may get during this time, Jupiter is going to lend its energies towards helping us to see the higher lessons, helping us to see how we could take the road that liberates us from old hurts that could be triggered due to this new moon. So I hope that is clear and makes sense. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about an event. This is very, very, very important. I could save it for another video, but I thought that it would be a good thing to bring into this report because it is of super importance. And that is Saturn changing signs. Okay, so Saturn is going to change signs on January 23rd or 24th, again, depending on where you are in the world. This change of sign is going to go from Saturn moving, being in Capricorn, into its sign of Mul Trikon, or its office of Aquarius. This is a super strong position for the planet Saturn, and we're going to see a big shift occurring in our personal lives as well as in the world. Some indications could be new innovations, new ways of communicating, new breaks in the world of medicine and healing. Those people who we see as eccentric or quirky or a little bit strange, for example, people like Elon Musk, expect him to be in the news even more, because this activates people who think out of the box, including yourself. You can have breakthroughs. You see, Saturn being in the sign of Capricorn, it's been in the sign of Capricorn since January of 2020. And we all know what started around that time. So this indicates a closure, finally, of that whole episode. And it indicates a movement into a fresher, broader, more enlightened, and very unique energy of Aquarius. Now, I mentioned just now that Aquarius is Saturn's Mula Trikona sign. So what is that? What does that mean? Well, Saturn owns two signs. Saturn owns the sign of Capricorn as well as the sign of Aquarius. And the Mula Trikona of any planet, the sign where any planet has Multrikon energy, it just means that that planet is at its office. So it's ready to get to work. It's ready to come up with innovative solutions, things that you've been wanting to implement and put into place for a long time. You can get sudden innovations or insights as to how to best implement these ideas. Now, because it is Saturn, it will take hard work for us to implement it, but it is a fixed sign. Along with this new moon is in a fixed sign of Scorpio. So Aquarius is a fixed sign. So any kind of work, any kind of new project or new way of being we want to bring out and implement into the world to affect the world for the greater good will have staying power. Saturn is staying power. Aquarius, fixed sign. So be very careful as to the intention of what it is that you want to bring forth. Because if it is an intention that helps others and serves the greater good in some way, it will be long lasting and it will be supported. I will try my best. I will, no, not I will try my best. I will make another video about Saturn, Saturn's moving into Aquarius, but I wanted to also talk about it in this video because, at least from where I'm standing, I'm feeling these changes coming already, and I'm getting very excited about the next step in the evolution of this channel as well. My intention is to bring more teachings and continue to do the new moon and the full moon forecasts for you, but to bring more teachings from the Vedic lineage, which can help not only myself but others in navigating their life path forward. So I hope this has been helpful. Please do like, subscribe, and share this video if you think it would be of benefit to others. I very much appreciate your viewership and your participation in my channel. It's what makes it all worthwhile. And if you have any insights, or if you want to share how these energies are feeling for you moving forward, please feel free to comment below. And with that, I bid you all a beautiful new moon. Enjoy the life, my friends. Happy Thanksgiving to those of my viewers that are in the United States. And all the best until next time. Take care. Thank you, and bye-bye.